Yo, what's poppin', guys? Today we are playing some Blue Eyes. As you can see, I have a beautiful Royal Rare Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Don't look at the rest of the cards. They're definitely not Pendulum. Don't get jump scared by Pendulum cards here. This is definitely a Blue Eyes deck because we are going to be turboing out the Magia, our beautiful boss monster, Dragon Master Magia. It gets 3 negates, 1 spell negate, 1 monster negate, and 1 trap negate per turn. And it uses a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and a Chaos Ritual monster as material. So as you can see here, we have a Chaos Ritual monster here in hand. If we don't open it, we will have a line to make Romulus for Dragon Ravine to send it to the graveyard here. But first, we're going to make Exceed the Pendulum. And this is going to let us make Appaloosa before we pen summon. So it forces out the Nibiru here. And of course, since we're playing such a powerful deck like Blue Eyes, we don't fear Nibiru. And we can just play right through it anyways and still set up our boss monster. So we're going to go for a pen summon here, which has been protected. And we're going to use the secret effect of the Supreme King Gate 0, which lets you pop itself and another card to summon out a fusion dragon monster, but reduce its attack defense and negate its effect. Also, you can't use it for a synchro or exceed summon. And we're going to casually chain link 4 out here. It's going to reset all of our stuff here again. Grab some follow-up. This is going to grab us the trap, which gives us another pop as well on top of our end board. And now we go into our Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. Link these guys off for Verte. And Verte is going to send Ultimate Fusion or whatever it's called. Bounce back the Nib for Disrespect. And Ultimate Fusion fuses by shuffling back from hand, field, or graveyard. And that makes the Dragon Master Magia. So here we have 3 disruptions, 4 and 5. We're going to go ahead and negate the Axe of Fools. Magia negates. Now they're going to go ahead and use this card, which is a soft one. So I'm going to instead just negate the Ohime. We also know what they're playing now. And this thing says the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. So we're going to chain to the activation. At this point, the card technically isn't on the field yet. Because it's still being activated. So my opponent he's still holding the card in his hand and placing it on the field. It's not on the field yet, so the continuous effect it has to protect from card effect destruction is not live yet. So we chain the time pendulum graph to destroy the target. That's going to destroy the monster that isn't protected yet. And the equip spell is going to fizzle because there's no target left for it. And we're going to search some more follow-up. We still have a trap negate for evenly, I guess. And our opponent surrenders here. Alright, here we're going to show off how we can play if we don't get disrupted. And what boards we can end on here. Now, we did open the Dragon Ravine, the one of again. Normally, you would use Dark Worm plus the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to make Romulus. And that would search for the Dragon Ravine. But we just open it here, and we're going to go for another line where we make the Appaloosa before our pen summon, so we don't get completely blown out by Nibiru. And then we're going to realize, hey, we have a cracked line here where the Dragon Ravine gets to pitch the Gate 0, and then we just bring back our -1 from hand for free by using the Exceed, because it can summon from hand or graveyard. This is also how we get our Chaos Max into the graveyard. We pop all this stuff, and at this point, I realize I still have my normal summon left. They're not interacting with me. I'm already threatening Appo. Might as well normal this guy, get some more advantage. And we just casually make a 4-mat Appaloosa before our Pendulum summon. We already have both mats for the Magia in the graveyard. So you might as well just go off a bit here, get the Baron, get the Vortex as well. Verte coming out here for the Magia. And now we're going to use the Baron to clear our Verte so they can't swing over it, because we do pay 2,000 life points during this. Maybe it comes up, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't come up this game. Magia negating 1 time, 2 times. We still have the Vortex negate here. And we still have all 4 Apomats, plus the Baron, plus the pop off the Time Pengraph that we searched. And we win this game as well. Now, of course, we got to keep things spicy here. So before I show off some festival games here where we play in Legend Anthology, we're going to get Fuwalos. So what can we do here if we get Fuwalos? My initial thought is, well, I'm screwed if I full combo. So I'm going to go for a line that lets me make Baguska as soon as possible. So by popping this, we're going to grab a search here. And now we're just going to pend out the 2 guys that we now have. Make a Baguska here. It gives them 2 draws, whatever. And we play in the far zone over here, so we can't get Closed Moon or Geonator or whatever, Animud. Maybe this is a Geonator comb? I don't know. So we're going to get Fissured here, which is very annoying. Turns out it's Kashtira. Yeah, he's setting a card here after he used the Desires, putting out all of these guys. And yeah, so when my turn starts here, you might be wondering, why didn't he use the set Imperm down here on my Baguska? That's because he drew it off of Desires, right? When he went Fissure into Desires, he shouldn't have led Fissure probably, right? But this turns off Baguska and my Gate Magician. This lets me normal the Joker though, which is very nice, which is going to eat another Ash Blossom. Plus now we also get Macrocosmos. Do note that under Fissure and Cosmos, my Pendulum cards get banished instead of going to the face-up extra deck. And here he uses Unicorn to hit Electromite. I can't make Electromite in this game state. It does nothing for me in this game state, but he hits it anyways because they're just afraid of it. This game state actually of Baguska plus Joker beautifully makes the Beyond the Pendulum, which if my opponent could read, which he can't because he's a Kashtira player, he would have noticed that this card kind of completely cooks him. So his last card here is the Preparations. It's dead. There's no banished guys here that he could... I can't click on the banishment. There we go. They get someone out. Maybe some guy from hand. Doesn't really matter. We're going to trigger the Beyond here. Clear both of his floodgates. Going to trigger the Harmo. Going to trigger the Gate Magician here. And now, of course, we're going to go for some more Magia lines. Going to search even more guys here. Going to the Exceed the Pendulum to summon out our Gate 0 here. That's going to pop the guy and rescale itself. We get out both materials now because we have the Chaos Max in hand. And now the Verte gets to make the Magia. And secret effect here of Ultimate Fusion. You Fusion Summon by shuffling the dudes. Then you can destroy face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon used from the field as material. So since we were controlling the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, we actually had to pop a card for free, which is pretty cute. Yeah, so if we destroy the monster, we just win here. But I wanted to use the Magia negates. Unfortunately, he is surrendering because he's on 2 cards. Deserved victory, I would say. Alrighty, now it's time for some Legend Anthology gameplay. You might be thinking, whoa, Wotan, how can you play this deck if they've banned Electromite, Verte, Romulus, Dragon Ravine, all of these cards? There's no Exceed the Pendulum either, and now your opponent's even going to slam down an Infinite Impermanence on you? This is unplayable. So fortunately, it is playable. Spoiler, as you're about to see. We are running Illusion of Chaos as our other Chaos Ritual card if we don't find the Chaos Max, because the Chaos Max we can't Ravine for it anymore. So we're just hoping we find it or Dragon Shrine for it, or we get the Magician's Souls, the Illusion of Chaos, the Preparation of Rites, or we can even Time Star for any of those because they're all dark spellcasters. So we have pretty consistent access to get this side. We still have the Gate 0 to get our Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon out. And now you're seeing the Gate Infinity, and what does this guy do? None of these effects seem to do anything. They're all negative. Well, you just gotta wait and see here, because the Supreme King Gate 0 has another secret effect that we want to use. If it's in the scale, and you have the Supreme King Gate Infinity in your other scale, you can pop both of them to add a polymerization or a fusion spell from your deck to your hand. And that's how we access the ultimate fusion here. Tau T Dragon's just the only guy with 3 downward facing link arrows that does anything. And it turns out, since we're using the ultimate dragon as material for it, my opponent can now also not activate monster effects during the battle phase. So that turns off the Exodia dude too, which is really nice. And then early is just they banned like everything in the extra deck, so like he's just something to do with the extra bodies, right? All right, opponent was not playing a real deck, but I played through hand trap, so we're keeping this in the video. All right, for our final replay, we're going to be opening this incredibly questionable looking hand and still find a way to full combo. And don't worry, we are playing against Millennium, everybody's most hated deck from Legend Anthology. Every second duel at least was against that deck. It is so annoying. So here we get to pop our excessive spells with the Magician's Souls. This is drawn to more engine. Very nice. And it's also part of Beyond the Pendulum, which unfortunately does have to add a second gate 0 here. There was a bunch of weird limits as well. The Supreme King Gate Magician was also limited to 1. I don't think it shows up here. Nah. But we still get to make the Tau T here. Get to search for all of our stuff. Make the Magia. And now for some reason, they did ban Baron, but Boral Savage is still legal. And we're just going to go ahead and make the Pit Knight early here. And we also have the Celestial for the secret effect. If they out a fusion, synchro, or Xyz, for us it's just going to be fusion. By destroying it by a card or battle, you could just special summon it back. Now on stuff like Baron, it can also reset the one spell face up kind of thing. This thing is just all hard onces, so it doesn't really matter, but we still get the guy back because he has no protection intrinsically. So yeah, they're going to summon a bunch of stuff here. I don't really care. I hate that card, so we're going to definitely negate it. And we're going to use early to reduce this guy's attack so he can't swing. We're going to delete the Ankh, and since he doesn't have a second one, he's going to surrender. Do note, even if he did have another one, he can't actually gain the attack in the battle phase because of the floodgate effect on the Tau T Dragon. Alrighty guys, and here's the deck list. We're running, of course, the Master Dual attacks as per usual, and then we're running a large Supreme King engine. We have to run 2 of the gate 0s just to make sure we get into rotation, to still be able to trigger stuff even if we draw it. And opening multiple isn't that bad, especially as you've seen in the festival here. Then, of course, we have our bricks. We have the Romulus for the Ravine. We have the Verte for the Ultimate Fusion. I just added the time pen graph just to get another disruption because you can get them out fairly consistently, especially with all the Wisdom Eyes and double irises. Since we're on 40, I don't really want to open double Shrine, so we're just going to be running 2 Shrine and 1 Foolish Burial. They both serve the same purpose. They just send Dark Worm to the grave, and instead of running a Destrudo as an alternative payoff, we just straight up send the Chaos Max and don't have to go into Romulus. So that's pretty nice for that at least. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys want to see my Legend Anthology list, I will leave the link in the description down below. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in how I made that work there. All right, see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.